That time, motherfuckers. It's about that fucking time, motherfuckers. Everybody about to hop on this live stream for members of Elevate, aka anyone else who really wants to understand, learn what I do, or just want to learn a little bit more about trading. Follow me on YouTube, subscribe, and I hop on a live stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday where I just talk about markets and money making moves in regards to trading on both cryptocurrency and forex. So if you're interested in what I do, I'm going to drop the link right now in the next post. Click it, follow it, subscribe, and let's see what I can do for you. What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? Holy shit. Gosh damn, motherfucker. Oh my god. Woo! What a great few days it has been. Great few days. We have absolutely killed it over here in Elevate Trading. So if you're part of Elevate Trading, I know you happy because I know I'm happy. If you're not Elevate Trading, I really hope you listen to our last plays because they ended up being true. We'll start in just a jip. I know the music's a little loud right now. Let's give it a little bit. And we'll get it started. Let's give a little bit. I'm gonna wait till a few more people will pop in this thing. Open up my chat box and then we'll get it popping, alright? Ooh! 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 Oh, this is myself for you. Da 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 da. What up? What up, bro? What up, bro? How you doing, dog? Hope you're doing well. About to get the cracking lacking in a little bit. A little bit. We have 46% on the last trade. Let's get it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! I hope you feel this fucking vibe. Gosh damn, man. I don't know, man. So, I don't know. I had a pretty tough week, pretty tough weekend. I got some pretty bad news. Some things knocked me down, you know. Took me off my path, but you know what? I don't give a fuck. I come back 2 times harder, and I just take adversity, and I get better. And I just fucking feel that. I feel that this week. I fucking feel it this week. Fucking feel it this week. Alright, so with that, let us lower this music, and we'll get us fucking begin, alright? Woo! Welcome everybody, this is your boy Satoshi motherfucking Heavy Saturn here with another dose of crypto for you, you fucking fiends. Get your shit ready to get this thing popping. It's about to be a good one. And call your moms, call your dad, call your sister, call your grandma, cause we about to be making some money today. Maybe. No guarantees, never guarantees, but highly probable. So with that, my friends, we can begin. Let me pause this music, exit out of my Bybit account, because I don't know why, it just, Bybit don't like to work when, or the stream don't like to work very well when I got everything up. So let's get rid of, I just don't really need that. We'll start with the Elliott wave count as always. Alright, just give me a sec. Oh, okay. Yeah, give me a second. Okay, there it goes. I honestly still think this is an ABC. Okay, let's transition. 3, 2, 1, and transition. Woo! Welcome, everybody. So, we're going to start with Bitcoin as always, and if you're not accustomed to us, if you're new, just tuning in. This is our weekday updates where we only discuss intraday plays and day trades and nothing more. Sometimes we'll dabble into the high time frames, but traditionally we try to stick to the lower time frame to see what we can play off on the week. So, with that, we're going to stick to usually underneath the 4-hour chart, and we'll start with Bitcoin. This was a proposal I gave to my members if we were to cross that, and we never crossed that, so we never traded to that. My initial idea when we last talked, if I'm not mistaken, was something like this. And it looks like it is playing out pretty fucking well. The only thing here is that this move, it doesn't look very impulsive. Yes, it pulsated down, and the reaction down was pretty violent and pretty aggressive. But the substructure of it does not make sense for me in regards to an Elliott wave count. But it doesn't need to be. We don't need a clean 5-wave impulse. We don't. This could develop into a WXY, and this would just end up being super complex zigzags all the way down into, like, it'll just run that channel like that, and it'll end up being like a WXY. If we're like super strict about looking for, that very specific 5-wave impulse, sometimes it just doesn't happen. So if you're an Elliott wave trader, you're trying to learn about Elliott wave, I highly suggest you stop worrying about counting every fucking thing, and I highly suggest you stop counting everything as 5s. More often than not, it's a correction. Markets range 90% of the time, and they move volatility 10% of the time. If they range 90% of the time, then that means 90% of the time they're in a corrective phase. Therefore, with that logic, you have to understand that clean 5-wave impulses are a lot less common than what you would think and what you're trying to look for. And that's why a lot of novice and new Elliott wave traders, people who are trying to learn Elliott wave, fail to use it appropriately and find success with it because they're over there counting every fucking subwave, like they're trying to count 5 waves there, 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 and they're never going to find it. So, this is why I held this short. This is the only reason why. Because I knew, like, I saw all these 3s happening, but I was like, you know what? A higher time frame still suggests a downwards move, and momentum is shifting on the higher time frame to the downside. And just because the substructure is constitutive of 3s doesn't necessarily mean that it is gonna move back up. It could very well mean it's a complex combo, and it is indeed an impulse in regards to the entire structure, but the substructure of it is a corrective phase, right? So, looking at, I want to go to something that intrigues me here. We got some pretty hefty, divergences happening, but divergence is meaningless. It's pointless, and it doesn't mean anything. All divergence means is there's an overextension in the current price, and that's all. And that's all it is. And so, for the very basic thing, I see this divergence here being 0, 1, 2. One could even say this is 0, 1, 2, and therefore, basically the same thing. This is X pivot right there. And so if we're to consolidate over that, then I would suggest that this would move to the upside. But until this is taken out and consolidated above, I'm going to continue holding my short until these negative, aka negative reversals, keep happening. A negative reversal is when you get a divergence, in this case a positive divergence, but it doesn't do anything like say, okay, we'll do this, come up, come down, make that divergence, and then we'll come up like this, break up. But price doesn't do anything. It just does that and makes another lower high, while this makes a higher high, creating a divergence there, which is a negative reversal due to it not clearing X pivot there on this, because there's divergence here, right? 0, 1, 2, X pivot there. Never cleared X pivot with price, but our side did, therefore creating a divergence, aka a negative reversal. And how you trade trends is It's very simple. And if you're using my tools, it's even simpler. Because it's like this. If your blue and red line are below the 50 and then crosses into the bearing, like this, you're going to be looking for negative reversals all day, aka hidden bearish divergences. And you're gonna be very keen to hitting those divergence calls at entry points once it breaks over the 50 point. Like right here would have been damn near perfect because it hit that 50 point, created a negative reversal from here to here, failed to close over the X pivot, clearly momentum's ranging to the downside, and thus you take those trades. And vice versa on the opposite side. Cross over the 50 here, cross over the 50 here, reason to long, etc., etc. So there's no really reason to exit this position short until we get confirmation that this is indeed going to turn around. And how I figure out confirmation is by using value range theory rules like this, and I explained it a little bit in detail here. If you want to learn about more value range theory, please visit and come join my group. I'll teach you everything I know about value range theory. Value range theory, all it is a theory that is based on divergence, and it helps you understand when divergence is likely to be true and when it is unlikely to be true. And it really helps you get into positions before, and really helps you get out of bad positions before you get taken out of your position with a stop loss. And it's based on divergences being made, cleared on price and RSI. If it doesn't happen like that, then it just creates a negative reversal and extension to that side, and it reverts to the current trend, which in this case is a downtrend. So in regards to the Elliott wave count, the first thing that really pops in my mind is this stupid flat I'm seeing here, and it just keeps popping in my mind. I'm not going to trade it until, again, it proves to me that it's going to be true. Until it proves to me it's going to be true, I'm not going to trade it. But this is what I'm on high alert for here. On high alert for. This being ABC, ABC. I'm short up here, so I really don't give a fuck. If this comes up like here, I'll close that and reshort that. I really don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna keep holding this until these rules get proven to me, and then I'll close it. But until then, momentum's very down. The subway structure does not need to be like this. The other thing I'm looking at that will carry us to this low down here is that this is a WXY of some sort. This entire move here, some complex WXY that we're just not really seeing. Initial three-way move here, some complex move there down to there. Time-wise, this would make sense. Maybe it wouldn't make sense this year. That does if you're saying this is W, this is X, then that's Y. Then it would. Take it to that low here. Almost perfect. So that would work. Not the prettiest count, in my opinion. Again, this here for me is on high alert just due to the fact that structurally it looks the best. Some initial move to the downside, a counteract to the upside, some C wave moves to the downside for the ABC. A, and then A, B, C. Invalidations, a break of the 1.236 to the downside, which we're dead. So if we're able to get into the 1.236 down here, I'm honestly probably going to close at least 50% of my shorts. And then I'll see what happens. Again, this would get dropped to the next pivot, which would be here. At this point, it's here. But if we were to drop to this next lower range, the intermediate pivot will be here. The same rules will be applied from this pivot to that pivot, and this will be dropped to there, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hours can really show us where we're going, and look at this. Remember how I said about this technique? Once we cross, okay, we got some major bearish signals here on RSI, both on SRSI and the MAs on RSI, giving it here. And then you break into underneath the 50. Now, that does not necessarily mean you're bearishly trending, because you can still be bullishly trending as long as you sustain the bull range. But if you see here, right here, the red violates the bull range, the blue violates the bull range. Therefore, since you violated the bull range, which is depicted as this level here, see that? Since you violated the bull range, you can no longer say with certainty that you're continuing a bullish trend. Now, all you're looking for is your blue and red line to either reconfirm bullish momentum by crossing back over 57, or confirming bearish trend by rejecting 57. And if you see here, we crossed underneath bull range, hinting that the bull momentum was violated. Notice how we didn't do it here. We didn't do it here. We did it here, and it won't work all the time, but usually this is a very powerful indication and indicator on how things work. We rejected 54 underneath 57, created what Memo has said. If once you're ranging, you want to look for hidden divergences. Got that hidden divergence there, right? Boom, boom. And then again, bearishly ranging, right? Bearishly ranging. Your blue and red line are still in their bear range. We're not breaking into the bull range up here. And then again, hidden divergence, another sell point, another entry point, boom. Again, right here. Another same thing here. Well, I guess I drew that, huh? Oh shit. Well, if that happens again, same logic until this is violated, until the blue and the red line cross back above 58. 57. We have to suggest downward momentum. As long as the blue and red line do this, we're bearish. If it could do this, pop up there, then that's when we have to assume, well, not assume, but that's a hint to us that, okay, we can now possibly shift back bullishly. And in order to confirm bullish shift, then the blue and red line have to hold that 43, and if it does that and breaks back above that, then that's confirmation that you're now ranging bullishly. But if it doesn't do that, if it crosses above like that and then breaks out again, then it's probably going to continue down, and this would end up being a bigger negative reversal that we just didn't see. Pretty good divergence from here to here. Double bottom. If this RSI was to break this 28 level, this would get very bloody very fast in my opinion. I want to look at the daily RSI real quick. Look at this kick-ass sell signal on a daily right here. It got you. The signal showed right here. Blue line crossed under here, indicating that this final move to the upside was probably going to be the final move. Remember we said that we usually want to enter on 3 points of divergence. That's the first point, a high point, not divergence. 2, 3 points of divergence, kick-ass sell signal, blue underneath, all reasons. That was literally our algorithm to enter a trade on a high time frame. Crossed under, again, we won't confirm true bearish shift until we break 43 on the daily. If the blue and red line can sustain 43, we'll get a pretty decent bounce, with RSI probably dipping all the way down there, this floating there, creating that nasty hidden mega bullish divergence there, like that. This will probably bounce pretty hard. This is why I'm thinking like this ABC has a high chance of showing here because of this aspect. Ethereum. Whoops. Well, thank God we're bearish on that. And if you don't believe me, I fucking running nose, dude. Oh my gosh, this is annoying the shit out of me. Ugh. Oh shit. Let me throw up. Where are we? Ethereum. Let's get my screenshot tool. New. Okay, I drew this. Oh, wrong thing. Hold on. I'd just like to show. Yesterday at 7 p.m. I gave this, up from that point, up or down, bearish path looking like it wants to happen. So that's me giving two ideas, but trading one until we're disproven in the other way. For me now, since we ranged so much sideways, and for so long, I am no longer considering this. And before I had this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We went too much sideways and have corrected too long in regards to this 3-wave simple move to deem this as 4 of an impulse. So, only thing I can say is that this is a completed 1 and this is 2. Or ABC, whatever. I don't really care. All I care about is that since we've went sideways so long, it doesn't make sense to call this 2 and this 4, and therefore the only thing that this could be is one entire impulsive move. And so with this, it's quite unfortunate because Ethereum can be very difficult to trade. In my opinion, this is A. This is a contracting flat. B. A, B, C. We're likely to bounce from this range. If we don't, then Ethereum is super fucked. But I have a high feeling that we're going to bounce either from now or this range. And then this will be an A. Watch for a 3-wave B. Invalidation will be a break of 275. If we reject 275, 270, after creating a 3-wave B-wave flat, watch for RSI to break high right here, higher than right here, creating a hidden bearish divergence from there, from this high in price and this high in RSI. And then you watch this send this down, and this will end up being an A and a B and a C, correcting this entire impulsive pattern to a 1-to-1 degree. I believe this is a. It's hard. I don't know. It's hard to say if that's the truncation or not. And that literally hits exactly where we want it to in regard to time. And so this is going to be our primary for now. I know we normally don't really talk about a higher time frame, but this kind of plays into effect with Ethereum on all time frames. So with Ethereum, I do believe a balance is sooner or later. I'm not necessarily going to say I would long this. I wouldn't. I would long this, though. I would long 217 to 227. I would not long this because that's just wishful thinking that are going to pop up over time. In my opinion, if we do end up labeling this low and this moves up, who cares? Just exit your short position from up here, take your small profit, and re-enter there and see if we get a double tap on that bitch. Look how well Chevy worked. I meant not Chevy, SRSI worked. Dip blue, dip below, kick-ass sell signal. Woo! Kick-ass buy signal, but we haven't got that confirmation. We haven't got the confirmation of the white crossing the red. It just keeps rejecting. Reject, reject, reject. 100% confirmation to cross of the slow line. Like right here was when we 100% confirmed the shift to the downside. Right here, shift below there. So same idea here. 100% confirmation to break above that, but we still have not done that. Okay. I was like looking at all. I have 3 charts for Bitcoin, and it all helps me understand where prices can go. Sell signal. We had a buy signal here today, but I ignored it because we're still red, and there's no reason for us to long that, especially when trend day was bearish. I knew what adds taxes tonight. That's great. So, shoot. So our Litecoin is always on extras. Litecoin literally played out perfectly. Literally perfectly. I am not interested in Litecoin until that low is broken. This can be a weird ass A, B, C, and it's all, you know, correction phase, and this will end up being your actual moves to the downside. But I wouldn't long this in hopes of this. That's wishful thinking. Momentum's clearly to the downside, so that's, again, I wouldn't do it. No change in Litecoin. I'm saying it doesn't bounce. I'm saying it does this and gets to this level. East BTC. This one, again, played out nearly perfectly. Very subjective on this for sure. This would be the low to long for this. If this is going to be truly a 5-wave impulse C wave, this would be the low. We were going to move up one more time. Again, I think I'd be willing to just let that one go. You know, we had a good fun ride from this low down here, so I think we're fine. We don't need to trade this to the upside. Rather, if we do move to the upside, clear that high, this confirms that this is a 5-wave impulse. And then all we have to do is watch for this leg right here. Count 5 waves, and if you count 5 waves, wait for that last leg to be cleared to the downside and less time complexity, and then consolidate it underneath that pivot right there. If that happens, that's a true reversal. Okay, we're watching that. If East BTC gets below this point, then it's going to continue to the downside. This will end up being an ABC. This will be a WXY of some sort. What's this? Bitcoin Cash. Kind of a mess. But ended up playing pretty much exactly what we thought would happen. Just ended up being one more up right there. Yeah, this all looks like you're running flat. And that's not good. Because usually when you're running flats, that means that hints towards the strength of the momentum in that current direction. So I'm honestly not interested in Bitcoin Cash until 304, low 300s. High 200s, low 300s. Lend. Finally, Lend did what we thought it would do and crashed below. About freaking time. My opinion, this is not the low you want to buy yet. You want to wait for further downside, probably at least to 261. ETC USD. Yeah. This looks like it wants to hold this range and probably do this. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This possibly looks like an incompleted flat with one more move to the upside, then to the downside. No questions today. No questions today. We're flying through today. No questions. Sorry, I had a message. Somebody back. Hold on. Message my homegirl back quick. Just asking me about some. Fuck's this? Why are you asking me all this shit? Give me a second. And let us begin again. Okay. Okay. Oh my dear lord. This looks like shit. I guess we'll start with DXY. Okay, it's definitely not going to be this. It's back in range, so I think this is going to end up coming down. DXY is absolutely fucking disgusting, stupid. Honestly, don't really know. I'm going to be on highlight for this, though. If we do that, then obviously there's going to be a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. Sell point. This will end up being a giant B, and a C. Not exactly sure on DXY. That looks like 80. Okay, 80. We're dropping here. If that will be a pretty nasty hidden bullish divergence that could happen. High alert for that. If this low here on RSI gets hit and price stays high, then that'll be a monumental hidden divergence from there to there to here to here. If we can stay high, if we drop low to this point or even lower to this or to take this point, I don't think that'll be very fruitful. That's on high alert. Again, I'm not exactly positive on what exactly the dollar is doing on the highest degree time frame. I just believe this is one gigantic fucking subwave, but it could be wrong. I'll have to reanalyze the entire substructure on a high time frame. I don't want to remove it, I just want to hide it. Okay. Again, our rule states, since we're bearishly trending, we'll look for hidden divergences to enter. Like we're bearishly trending there, hidden divergence, boom. Hidden divergence, boom. Hidden divergence, boom. Finally, it violated the upside move and said we had a chance of being bullishly trending. That would probably fake you out. So right here, looking at this, looks like we have a high chance of that continuation move to the downside, with this being a hidden bearish divergence between this point to this point. And I'm still with this being like this for Euro USD, okay? One more low down to this red box. This, the choppiness of this makes me not believe that this is this. I'm sorry that this pair has been fucking tricky ever since about right here when it took us out for a loss right there. We were right about this move here being it was going to go to the upside, but I thought it was going to be more explosive. Honestly, it seems that we've been chopping around like this. So, can this be a diagonal? I'm willing to take that bet, with the fact that the dollar may not actually be an uptrending impulsive move to the upside. And this can actually possibly come to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this leading diagonal? Well, watch. We're going to see. If we reject at 618, which is about here, I'm expecting dollar to come down. Move above that, then we'll have to exit these ideas here. What I like about this is that you got a major pennant on our side. That usually calls for an extreme volatility. Since we've been in a long uptrend, I would assume this breaks to their downside. I'm liking USD NOK for a short. Even if it goes up to breaks that 941.156.59 level, I will still be interested in a short. My stop would be probably at about 945, 946.
And ultimate target will be so far down that you just it'll be below this low here. Let's put it that way, okay? It'll be a long, good trade if this is indeed right. So very, very good opportunity here if we're right. GPB. Last time we talked, I said we weren't going to trade it until we got more clarity. I think yesterday the last time we talked, I had two ideas saying that this was one move, and this would end up coming to the downside. This looks like an ABC, X, ABC, flat. So this does look like a high chance trade here, being that this is A, this is B, this is C. I like this as a short now. I can allow one more high over 1.30268. My stop would be at like 1.309. And I'll be targeting this 1.2755 to the 1.28 level. And we'll see who goes from there. That's where I'll be interested in a buying opportunity, where I'll think this is like some sort of ABC of some sort. This entire move so far from this point to this point, all seems to be corrective of some sort. This seems impulsive, so I'm looking for that move on the other side one more time. And then after the completion of this, we'll look again for a larger impulse to the downside being there. Okay? Gold. What a rejection. What a trade if you took that. Last time we talked, we labeled this as a high of 5. Very good opportunity if you took that trade. So just hold on to it. I'm liking this. I'm liking this as 1. This is 2. A, B, C. This ended up being an A, a B, and a C. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest history. That could be 1. Let's see here. I like that one. Ugh. Damn. Damn, Nozan, you're all on that level being just. You're all on that 1/6 level. You were even talking about 1/6 before I was talking about it. And when we got there, fucking Elliott wave count was completed, and it was at a level that you've been talking about. So I knew that it had very high confluence for a trade. I'm liking this as continuation to the downside due to this being a completed 5-wave impulse of a 5 to 5 to 5. C to B, 5 degree termination point of an Elliott wave count, so it could be extremely fruitful. If we are right, invalidation at this point is a move back above 1,670. A move back above 1,670. Forex.com, you can short gold. Or Forex.com, you can trade gold. It's just you can't do like how Bitcoin does it, where you can trade like half a Bitcoin or something like that. It's the only thing that sucks about Forex.com. You have to fucking trade the entire cost of the fucking gold. So you have to buy an entire gold, whatever the fuck the measurement is, whatever. You buy one gold for like 1,000, whatever the fuck it is, $1,607. Unlike Bitcoin, where you could like purchase or trade on half of it or whatever, you can't do that with Forex.com. That's the only thing that sucks. For a while, I couldn't trade gold because I didn't have enough money to fucking buy gold on my Forex account. But yeah. Anyways, no change on this in a higher degree perspective. This looks like it has a high chance of being exactly what we want it to be. Damn, that's ass, bro. Straight ass, because you're literally stalking that shit. Straight stalking that shit, bro. I'm liking this, though. I'm liking it a lot. Only one I don't like him a whole lot is my DXY one, although I think it has a high chance. DXY has been, it's been like a hit and miss. I'd be like, hit 2 trades in a row, miss one, miss another, hit 2 trades in a row, miss one, hit 2 trades in a row, miss 2. It's been kind of, I cannot get on the groove with DXY. The straight DXY, not the pairs, but straight DXY. Oh shit, NZD. Well, I forgot about NZD. Holy shit. This looks like it wants to break one more time to the downside. One, two, three, four, five. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm thinking this continues down. No clear trade or entry on NZD USD, so we're just going to let this one slide for a little bit, and we'll come back to it once we got a clear trade set up. Okay? So the only thing I like about Forex is that if your pair stops making sense to you and stops not giving you what you need, go look for another setup. Go find another pair that makes sense. Go find something that makes sense to your preferred style of analysis and trade it. Don't force a trade or force a count just because you feel like you have to trade that specific pair. No, there's other pairs to go trade. There's other ways to make money in trading. You don't have to continue to trade the same pair at every single cost every single time. Go find pairs that are overextended or make sense to you, have a specific pattern that you see, and trade it. Don't force things. Like this one, we don't really have anything very clear to go off of, so we're not going to force anything. As per request, I had someone today in my DMs on Twitter want to discuss DGI and also SPX 500. So, not discuss, but they wanted me to give them my honest opinion via Elliott Wave and my preferred style of analysis. So with that, we're going to go ahead and do that real quick as a little bonus. So congratulations if you're sticking around here. We'll name this brain fart. Brain fart. I guess I'm just going to name it traditional. There's a specific word I'm looking for. I kind of forgot it. Let's go change all this bullshit. Deep blood. And I want black, like my soul. Okay. We'll start with SPX 500. We'll go on the high time frame. It's the only one we're going to... Oh my gosh. Okay. This looks like an ABC, dude. So I'm proposing this. Honestly, I think this is a buying opportunity. This can be a weird, disgusting, expanding flat. But I'd just be one to say this still comes down to at least there. This right here looks like a flat corrective phase. Obviously, this was clearly pulsing up. Corrective phase. Clearly pulsing up. 3-wave move. It can only be depicted as an ABC at this point. This is clearly a this is a WXY. W, X, Y, flat, some X, zigzag. So that should be WXY labeled differently. Huh. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm really wondering why we're putting threes up here at the top end of this range. I honestly think we're gonna stay up here ranging for a little bit on the SPX 500. I honestly think that just the way this looks. If this was going to be a true high five of an entire fucking, who knows how long this has been going on for, 20-degree conclusion to an impulsive pattern, this would have been extremely violent, similar to these moves here, like this and such for us. But we didn't get that. We didn't get that. So what I'm wondering is, this is obviously a gigantic flat, right? Obviously a corrective phase. We made a 5-wave pulse after this corrective phase, and are somewhat doing another corrective phase in that. Unfortunately, obviously we don't know the full graph data, so it's hard to get a very valid Elliott wave count. But I'm gonna assume that this right here was some sort of 3. And this is now wave 5 of some sort. And I think that this 5 is going to extend. Not now. It's going to take time. It won't be today. Actually, we'll probably correct and, move down quite some to get people very bearish and very scared on the market. But in my opinion, this is a very healthy consolidation pattern. After initial 5-wave rise, and we're making threes, as long as we maintain a 2,500 level on the highest, the 5 to weekly time frame, we're solid for a continuation. Being this is an extension in wave 5 of 5. Okay. There's another word for this. It's not traditional. If someone could give it to me, I'll fucking love you forever. It's not this. Fuck. Keep fucking. Dear Lord. Yeah, that's a clear ABC. I think this is going to come all the way down to here. The reaction, this is so violent and so fast that I think it's going to continue to at least this point. And again, with the same idea here, watch that to hold. Damn, this one goes even further back. Wow. Wow. We got this one's entire thing. Interesting. Yeah, if this is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Yeah, that's, I don't know what the fuck that's. You can't really consider that. 1, 2. 6 months. 1 month. So this is 1-2. Then this has a chance of being 1-2 as well, which fits what we had for SPX. If this was truly going to be a reversal, we should have broken down, not consolidated up in three-wave patterns. That makes no sense if this was going to be the high and a true reversal. This has the feeling that we're in a consolidation pattern just to go another leg higher. Like so. Again, I think this level here is high, and we're going to end up breaking lower. So don't be buying here now, in my opinion. I think you're safe to either head short. And I'm thinking this is going to happen here. At a bare minimum, the way this is thrusting down, the bare minimum, I think this is going to happen. Bare minimum. If we're able to hold these pivots here, then look for a continuation. Curious though, real quick. Very curious. I was like, there it is. Like, where is it? Pretty solid on the daily if you have some. Look at that here. So clean, so clean. Break under the slow line. Reject. Sell signal. Good reason to enter that. Teach me how to knife catch bottom pivots on Bitcoin. Bottom top pivots. I don't really know how I'll teach you that. Let me see here. I can just let me explain how I find pivots, I guess, a little bit more in detail here, real quick, and then we'll log out because we have been talking for about an hour and a half, so we're over our time. Oh no, we started at 8:30, huh? We're literally right on time, so I'll go ahead and discuss this real quick for you, Noza. I mean, I don't honestly like. I really like this. When we knife catch, we're not doing it necessarily on purpose. Yeah, we're purposely putting in trades there, but for reversal type trade. But it's. I don't know if I can really. How can I teach you this? How can I teach you? I can't really. I can't really teach you how to catch a knife bottom or top, but I can teach you how to find a reversal, and how to label pivots. Let's just do that real quick. Let's just go. You have to use RSI. If you're not using RSI, you won't be able to use the pivots like how I use it. So I guess we'll just go for the most recent. Let's just start for the most recent. Well, let's start from here. Let's start from where it's very obvious. So at this point, we have to pay attention to two pivots here. One is our most immediate pivot, and then two is the grand pivot, which is the pivot from the entire move. So your most immediate pivot is obviously here. And how do you find that? Well, first of all, you find it with divergence. If you got a divergence call and then you got a range, then you can easily find your pivot. Your pivot's always going to be the price with the most closes around it. So for some, you might have to zoom in like this really tight to see. But for me, I can just look at RSI, look at price, look at the cluster, and understand just roughly where the X pivot is within 1%, right there. It's always going to be corresponding with a touch on RSI at some point. So that's your pivot, your immediate pivot to the upside. Your larger pivot would be from here to here. This is in essence a divergence because look how drastic from this low to that high. That's pretty drastic, but from here to there it's kind of flat. So that's in essence a divergence. And so you can draw a pivot here. The same aspect, 0, 1, 2. Your pivot will always be held in your divergence leg or your leg that makes divergence. So if we have this understanding, we know that this leg created divergence. This move created a divergence, right? And so your X pivot will always be in this leg. And again, it is the level corresponding with the most closes. Most price action, which would be about here. You could even probably say here. It's one of the two, between there to there. And then the aspect is very simple. From this point, if we are to break these pivots in less time and complexity than it did to get from this point to that high point, that is how you spot reversals. Because if you break those pivots in less time and complexity, it shows that momentum and strength is to the opposite direction and not towards the current pivot trending trend, which in this case is uptrend. And we already know the history on what happens here, but let's just see, So you break that, you clack X pivot, and so after this point, it's very simple. It's very simple. You've now broken both your X pivots, your immediate X pivot and your main X pivot in less time and complexity than it took to get from that point to that point, right? From here to here, from here to here, from here to here to here. It took far less time for this leg here to get to those points. And so that is textbook reversal signal 101, value range theory system 101, and all that's left is a consolidation underneath what would have been really a really good clear indication that this is going to be a reversal was if price were to break both these pivots and then consolidate underneath both these pivots. That would have been 100% reversal. I would have went all in. But we didn't do that. So I didn't add to my position. I just kept what I had up here, and I just followed the rules. Since we broke both pivots in less time and complexity, all that's left is a consolidation and sell pattern underneath the 6-8 of that current move, which in this case our current move was to the downside, and thus you could place your fib tool, draw your validation and invalidation point, and we see it's almost always going to be the same pivot that was broken. Almost always. It's kind of funny how it works, but your 6-8 almost always corresponds with the pivot that is your breaker move, your breaker pivot that you're looking at, which is funny. It makes sense too why the 6-8 works so well, because it usually corresponds to these pivots, and so it just makes sense. And so all that's left is a consolidation sell pattern underneath that 6-8 because we broke these pivots in less time and complexity, thus hinting towards the fact that this is indeed a new trend to the downside, and that was a true reversal, and we already know the rest is history. Consolidation under the 618, make a sell pattern, and we saw what happens. Same thing here. Consolidating underneath the pivot, and you saw what happened. Continues to the downside. Reject the pivot, consolidation to the downside, continue. And so, how would you find the most logical place to place a bid to enter or exit this area? Well, you're just going to use a high time frame pivot. So go to your high time frame and find your pivots on your high time frame. It's very easy. You use divergence. We already know that this was a pivot. This was a pivot. Right? We broke this pivot here, not necessarily in less complexity or less time, but we then indeed made a sell pattern and consolidated underneath the 618 of the entire move, and thus created that sell pattern. the levels I'll be very keen to looking for a close would be about in my opinion, if this level doesn't provide a balance, we're gonna seek probably 8,800, just based on pivots. Because this is a pretty major pivot right here. Pretty major pivot right here. It created all 0, 1, 2. So actually your pivot was right here. So X pivot's right here. 0, 1, 2. X is right here. And you see that we're consolidating underneath this. So that's not good. In order for this to truly disconfirm the highest degree momentum shift, we would have to break and close underneath over 9,770 consistently on a 10-hour to daily time frame. If we cannot do that, we're going to just continue rolling to the downside. And so your next pivot would be 0, 1, 2, about here. And that's where you would target for a close. And then again, 0, 1, 2. And that's how you target for closes based on pivots. And then how do you find the top and bottom knife catch? Well, you use other tricks. Notice how there's not really confluence between there, but there's kind of a high confluence between these two. So you're gonna be very, very keen to looking at this point. And then let's do the same thing on the opposite side. If you have an extension point right into a logical pivot point, like just for shits and gigs, this is not the count, but it's saying like you're assuming this is A, B, C. Look at that. The 1618 hits this level perfectly, and that's a target you look for an ABC zigzag. So that would make sense to put a bid there, right? So that's how you catch bottoms and catch tops, knife catches and knife and shit. You find confluence with multiple things being like Fibonacci and pivot points. Anyways, we're done now. I hope you took a little something from that. Everybody who is still watching this, let me know if that cleared things up for you, helped you, aided you in any sort of bit. Let me know if you still have questions or concerns about that aspect, and let me know if I even answered or even understood your question correctly, because I'm not too sure if I did. So with that, everybody, thank you so much. If you took anything from this, learned something from this, took a trade last week and it ended up being fruitful, which it should have been if you took that trade and trusted that. Hit the thumbs up button. Drop a comment on the upload in about an hour. I highly appreciate those comments when you comment on upload, because it really helps the YouTube algorithm see that I'm creating content. People are actually interacting with me. That just helps with me getting pushed up towards the ranks in YouTube. And at the end of the day, I want to be able to help as many people as I possibly can. And so thank you again, everybody. Appreciate you all so much. Yeah, no, that's the thing. And one of the ways I learned how to combat that, Noza, is I set my orders prior to that. So I used to not set my orders ahead of time, but if I have a very clear pivot level, exit level, I set my trade there and I catch those bottom and tops. It happens more often than not. Is it luck? Yes. Is it luck based on practical analysis? Yes, it is. So shooters shoot. Remember that mentality, Noza? Shooters fucking shoot. If you have a clear, logical setup, take it. Don't hesitate. Set your order up. Walk away. Set your stop. Walk away. And if it happens, it happens. Okay? So, anyways, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Again, you can catch me this coming up Thursday with the same shit. We'll get this popping again, all right? So, I hope everybody enjoyed this. Again, I hope, like I said previously, if you took anything from this, hit the thumbs up, drop a comment, and upload in an hour. Tell me what I could do better. Tell me what you like. Tell me what I can keep doing. If you have any pairs you want me to look at, cryptocurrency pairs, forex pairs, I don't usually do stocks. Don't shoot me any stocks. I'll only dabble with DGI and shit like that. But I'll be happy to chart anything you shoot me. All right, as long as we find time, because I'll always try to be on time, stick to a schedule. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. Everybody have a great fucking night. This has been your boy Satoshi motherfucking Heavy with a dose of crypto, and you can catch another dose of crypto for you this Thursday at 8 to 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll get it popping. Everybody have a great fucking night. Stay blessed. Peace the fuck out. Ish.